Break through the woods like solid snake.
Yeah, dude. That is a fucking
even though they could stand on two legs, they very rarely did.
All right, so let me get this straight.
Out.
We got the Sasquatches.
No, in order. Sug-squatch, Sasquatch, Seg-squatch, Slug-squatch, Megalosquatch.
What about the Slunk-squatch?
I said the first one, Wait.
What about the Megalosquatch?
Squatch.
Megalosquatch.
Squatch.
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 All right. Where do they live? In the mountains?
In the forest, in the trees.
In the trees?
In your backyard sometimes.
Megalosquatch lives on an island that's gone long sunk into the sea, so...
Called Hawaii. It's an ancient.
Yeah, it's it was a Hawaiian island, but it's underwater now.
Jeff, would you like to tell Corey what that island was called? Because it was surprised Corey what the island was actually.
What the island was called?
What the island was called, where the Megalosquatch roam.
It
was Squatch Mania. Was the name.
Could you believe that?
Squatch Mania.
It wasn't spelled like M-A-N-I-A. It was like M-A-N-E-A. M-E-N. It's a Hawaiian. It's M-A-Y-N-E-A. Mania is like a Hawaiian term for beautiful.
Melikaliki Squatcha.
What
do they steal? Pineapples? Now you're just making up bullshit. No, I'm not saying.
The Megalosquatch did like pineapple and coconut.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He was on an island.
That's why he's so pissed, because pineapples are so small.
Realistically, a 35
tic-tac-toe.
His teeth, his molars were actually 6 inches across. They could just eat coconuts whole. They didn't have to break the shells or anything.
They swallow coconuts like grapes, like those little baby, like raisins.
That's kind of why coconuts evolved the way they did on the island, because Megalosquatch could just eat them as is. There was no need to break them or anything.
I can understand that. What about the bananas? Because that's another thing.
That's fucking racist.
They had a hard time feeling them because their fingers were so big.
Well, they were wild bananas. They were very small, ugly, little things. They didn't even like them, so...
They were going to a store and saw...
There's actually a recording. There's ancient recordings of what a Megalosquatch sounded like whenever he ate a banana. Jeff, you know the sound.
Hold the fuck on. Okay? I was going on a tangent about something important. Have you ever gone to the store and saw a tiny bunch of small bananas, and have you ever thought, wow, I think I'm going to buy those cute little bananas for $5?
Talking about extinct monsters here, Corey.
Actually, yeah, I have.
You know, it's great.
I have.
But you never did, because it's like, I wouldn't even be hungry.
Because I'm afraid.
You would ruin the delicacy of small bananas.
Not to humor Corey here, but... What about the bananas they're selling? They're actually like brown, black, like no.
Oh, and that's how they are.
Oh, you want to tell you something?
Let them sit out. And
My dad ever seen those really tiny grapes?
I can tell you something. My dad, he used to. I personally like bananas when they're yellow, but a little like
blue,
like greenish yellow. Yeah. My dad used to get bananas when they were like fucking like gross brown, like leaking, like disgusting banana stuff. He'd pick it up, fruit flies pour out by like the dozens, and he'd just put it in his mouth. Rubbing around.
Well, most people eat bananas that way when they're almost rotten.
It's gross. I like normal bananas.
You like banana bread?
I like yellow bananas.
You like banana bread?
Yeah.
Well, that's how you make it.
Yeah, but you're not eating a disgusting fucking banana pile. You're eating a delicious banana bread.
Do you know they had bananas in Egypt? You know how they knew that?
I shook my head.
They found get this. They found pottery, right? You know how like they'd spin pottery, they'd shape pottery on a pottery wheel?
That's true.
Yeah.
There are very subtle sound waves in the pottery grooves. The sound wave, the needles.
Like a record.
Yeah, they'd actually scan the pottery, and they could scan the minute sound waves, and they played it back. And an Egyptian was actually heard saying, I like bananas.
Pass one of those bananas.
Like, pass those bananas. It was an Egyptian. He's like, pass those bananas. They're good.
Yeah, he said Egyptian. He said, bananos.
He likes bananas. So that's what they said.
He goes recorded saying, who cares? Yeah.
So they figured that out, and the best thing they could put on a pot was, I like bananas.
Well, they did. The sound.
It was casual conversation.
Yeah, it was casual conversation in the room. They didn't know the pot was actually picking up these minute sound waves in the grooves. As they were making the pot.
Oh, the sound got trapped in the pot.
Inside the pottery.
Yeah.
Essentially putting little divots as they were spinning it, trapping the sound.
So you know those really old recordings from like 1880 that they recovered and like scanned and replayed?
Yeah, I heard one from that your mom recorded.
Did she go,
bad stamper?
Because you said 1880. Stop.
No.
That means she's really old.
That's not true. I can bet you that much.
Well, finish your thought, though.
Have you heard it before?
No.
It's the creepiest thing because they're talking like us, but it's really filtered and weird. I just wonder What are you, the fucking dude for that one movie? Come
Yes.
out to play? What is that movie?
The Warriors.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's doing the fucking thing with the bottles those fingers over there.
What are you talking about?
Fucking clanking the bottles like that dude for that movie. Corey, come out to play.
What about the berries?
The Bears?
Berries and the single squatches.
The Sangro Squatches?
Sangro Squatches were an offshoot of the Sasquatch in
And they're so
Italy.
horrifying.
They're very similar though. They look exactly the same and everything, but they
If
just
we told you about the Sangro Squatch, you'd cry. Because
Not to be confused with the Anglo Squatches that were civilized and had villages.
they were Anglo-Saxon descendants, but
it seemed like
Sasquatch.
they had a very primitive religion to them.
Realistically, if a pretty Sasquatch lady went up to you, asked you out on a date,
How would she do that, Corey? Give me your best Sasquatch lady.
she yanks you by your fucking arm, pulls your arm out of the sound.
Do the voice, though.
She's like,
How am I gonna know that she's asking me on a date?
That could just be a gorilla that you find in the woods.
she kisses you.
I shit my pants
What if,
on.
what if this is actually what they do? This is their real mating thing. They walk up. You're standing in the street, and one walks up and stares at you, right? And they bare their teeth, and then they pull their vagina apart, and they're like, ah. And then they stand there with just their vagina open, and they just wait there.
Do they go?
And they do this with their tongue. they wait.
They do that pussy licking thing that they do?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard?
Can't do it.
I'd be like, what do you want from me?
They'll actually, if they think you're aroused, they'll shit as they're standing there too.
Sprite shit while their pussy's open.
Can I leave?
You can, but it'll fucking...
It'll chase you down. If you turn your back on it while it's doing this, it will kill you. This is a very sensitive moment when it's in its mating call.
So you have to do something, I guess.
You have to kind of, if you want to very politely deny it, you have to just go and put your hand on his face and just be like,
I would get him with the oldest trick in the book. I'd be like, your shoes are untied, and then I'd run.
doesn't understand English, Corey.
It's like always your solution. Corey, you need to pay your taxes. I'd run.
I tell the IRS their shoes are untied, and they say, okay, you're under arrest, and they'd say, gotcha.
Maybe this is why he's in a fucking wheelchair, not every
However-
he knows how guilty he should
That
be.
doesn't make sense, because if they were like, you need to pay your taxes, I'd be like, well, okay, I guess I'll pay my taxes now.
Have you guys seen that
I'd be
documentary?
like, your shoes are untied. You'll never figure it out. And they looked at it like, I'm
How
not,
you gonna tell the IRS their shoes are untied?
I wouldn't.
Your shoes are untied.
They'd be like, no, it's not.
No,
Like,
pretty
no,
sure
sir, we checked that. We checked column 2B to make sure that our shoes were tied.
So you can't check columns.
they'd say, yeah, I can. So you're still breaking the law, so please stop. I always get weirded out when I see these documentaries or like interviews with people who...
Start over? I wasn't listening because I don't like you.
Have you ever seen like an interview or like a documentary of people who claim to interact with Sasquatches or aliens or reptilians?
Yes.
No, I don't like bullshit.
I just wonder why they are they really trying to get attention?
No, I don't watch bullshit.
I saw this one lady, I swear to God, on the subject of Sasquatches. You can find it somewhere. It was this lady who lives in a trailer park. And she's, no, it was like in the middle of the woods. And she says, I know Sasquatch. He and I are best friends. He comes by all the
Oh
time.
yeah, I saw that.
You saw it, and then she's like, how is he talking? You are my friend? Like basically like Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
You've seen this?
Yeah.
And she describes how the Sasquatch tackles the deer and kills it.
Yeah, and she lives alone, and
Yeah.
nobody likes her.
And she says she grabs the Sasquatch hair off the Sasquatch when he asks for tea for his coffee.
Yeah.
Sugar for his coffee.
Yeah, he comes in and asks her for human things like mustard for his
Yeah.
hot dogs.
Need mustard for deer. Yeah.
I just watch documentaries about murdered kids. I don't know why.
I watched,
I know why.
I have a feeling.
To see how smart cops are nowadays.
I try to.
What could I do?
Yeah, I watch all these CSI shows, not because I like them. I just want to get away with
See what they're
crime.
doing.
well, it's like you believe, like, people that are like, when people are talking about their experiences, they always open up with this
Yeah, let me tell you-
cliche shit that you
If
feel
you're
for.
abducted by aliens, you're not gonna be like, well, and then they just took me out of my bedroom, and then
No,
They
but that's what
stuck
you always
stuff in
hear.
you.
That's what you always fucking
Well, you
hear.
never hear the guy that's like, and then this happened, and I don't know what the hell is. Maybe it's a government thing. I don't know. It's always some casual person that's like, and then
It's always some,
fit.
if it is, it's some like chick with like, she's always like crazy like alien paraphernalia in her hair.
yeah.
Like fucking planet doilies hanging from her hair and shit.
And where do you
I
live?
thought aliens.
It's like I live in West Virginia, in
Arizona.
in a one-bedroom house by myself, and you're like, oh, okay. When's the last time you heard an alien sighting from Japan or
They have,
Asia,
they
for
have
example?
witch sightings.
What are you talking about, witch sightings?
Because it's so weird because all of these sightings are depend on the culture. So we have so sleep paralysis is supposed to be like the biggest reason for alien abductions. People in Japan,
Like
I think
bad- like bad
it's Asian
guy-
countries. Yes, people in Japan or other Asian countries. I'm pretty sure it's Japan. Sorry if it's racist. But anyways, people in Japan can't move, but they say they see witches. Same alien stories. They say they see witches.
Oh, like old hags.
They say they see old hags walk into the room, and it's the same exact kind of verbatim story as aliens, except for with a witch instead.
Are we done?
No, never.
That was the Sasquatch. Join us next time on Sleepycast. When I poop, I don't have to push. It just falls out of my body because my anus is so huge. Goodbye. This is a Sleepycast Lost episode. Jesus or Christ, featuring Psychic Pebbles, Spaz Kid, and Niall. My name is Captain Dickhead. Spreading my butt cheeks and staring at my asshole in the mirror is one of my secret delights.
Man, Christians are weird, aren't they?
Christians?
We're talking about a weird group. Christians. Not to be insensitive.
What pisses me off most about the whole Christian culture is the fact that, like, now they're, like, intertwined with everything we fucking do. So, let me tell you a situation with the whole Christian thing. So I woke up one morning, and I had this whole, like, game plan set out. I had the works. I had everything set up. Tomorrow I was gonna go to the bank and pull money out. The bank was fucking closed, but it was on Monday. I'm like, it's not President's Day. It's not Columbus Day. It's not one of those glorious holidays. I'm like, it can't be anything
What are
special.
your all-time favorites? George Washington looking down at you from above corner.
Last week we were saying it was Halloween. This week we're saying it's fucking...
President's Day is the best. I go back.
We go back to my important story. So I wanted to go to. I couldn't go to the bank, and I wanted to go to Giants that day, and Giants was closed. And I'm like, what the fuck? What holiday is today? And it was fucking Easter. It's fucking Easter, the national Christian holiday.
You're saying you're not excited about the day that Jesus ran to a big rabbit and put him up on the
I
cross.
thought the rabbit laid Jesus in an egg, and Jesus came out and he goes, hello! That's what he said.
I heard Jesus rip the skin off a rabbit, put it on, gave the chocolate to the
How do you think he
Indonesian
got?
boys.
Why was the
and
rabbit have
children.
chocolate in it?
How do you think he got? How do you think he
Because
got
that
out
was
of
popular at the time.
Guys, how do you
Where did
think?
this-
How
where
do
did
you
it
think
jump?
he got out of the cave? He was like, if I go back out there, everyone's gonna go, hey, that guy, we killed him. So he was like, I'll just look a rabbit, give kids Easter eggs, so they,
Exactly.
hey, it's a giant rabbit, not Jesus.
Look
it's
it
a
up.
perfect way to escape.
This is on www.truthism.com. This is an actual fact.
Go there, get fucking. Shut up.
You will wake up. This will wake you up.
Is it Jesus wore
Sheep.
So technically, Jesus was the first furry.
Jesus was the first.
He
furry.
was he made the first furry convention,
He was
giving
also-
people chocolates.
He also had the,
Did he wear? Did he
furry
wear?
experiences.
he had the first diaper fetish too.
Did he have the little? You know.
Jesus would throw his diaper and giggle and pull little chocolates to give to the kids.
You know the butt plugs with the tails.
Well, fucking Jesus had a butt plug tail that he bought from Bad Dragon.
Yeah,
I think so.
The little bunny, and did he hop around with his like, hands limply on his chest?
You said something about baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus throw his little diaper and giggle and.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's like
We had to have farted.
we gotta remember baby Jesus. It's like baby Jesus grew up. Baby Jesus fucking died on the cross for your sins. It's like he's not baby Jesus anymore.
Do you think baby Jesus like
His
farted?
baby face. I think it did.
He had to have farted.
Dude, when I was a kid, you know,
He had an ass. That's what he stuck his dildo into.
Oh yeah.
when I was a kid, you know, Jesus is 33 years old. When I was a kid, I misheard somebody. They said they said he was 3 years old, but for some reason I thought this little baby grew into a full-size man in 3 years, and nobody questioned.
Well,
it.
he
I
is
was
Jesus.
Like, that makes fucking
Like,
sense.
if a baby grew,
He's gauches.
if a baby grew like 33 years, I believe
in
he's a
3
prophet.
years,
Yeah, well, Tom Hanks did that.
he grew 33 years in 3 years.
Tom Hanks was
He did the
touched by
opposite.
gosh. Tom Hanks.
Oh no, he did that. You're right.
He did that.
You're
Brad
right.
Pitt did the opposite.
Benjamin Button.
I thought that was Robin Williams. who was Benjamin Button.
Oh no, that was Brad Pitt.
Which one's the one where Robin Williams plays this like 13-year-old boy and like a 4-year-old
That's
father?
Jack.
Oh yeah, is that the
That's
one?
what I'm talking about.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
No, Jack is the one where it's like a kid has an aging disease where he gets old really
Oh,
fast.
Tom Hanks was in Big.
So he really is Jesus then.
Yeah.
If anybody's Jesus, because Tom Hanks had a bullshit like gypsy thing, right? He had the machine that
Yeah,
molded.
yeah.
So technically, Robin Williams is Jesus.
Yeah, because he
He
naturally
aged 3 years.
Isn't that movie actually about progeria? And I think it is. I think it's based on the disease progeria,
I think
the
it is
aging
too.
disease. But if you
No,
look
it
up
is,
someone,
yeah.
but if you look up someone with progeria, they don't look like a fully grown man. They don't.
Well, if you tell somebody, oh yeah, the 10-year-olds or the
It's like,
eight-year-old bodies.
Well, you got to think of it this way. You got to think of it this way. They're not going to go up to someone and be like, "Hey, you have progeria. You want to play?"
Could you imagine
Yeah,
Tom
you wanna be
Hanks
a
with
progeria?
that like makeup on? Nobody watched that.
No, I'm
Movie would
serious.
blow everybody
Like,
out.
you can't just go up to someone who has it and you're like, "Hey, would you like to star in a movie where we talk about your illness?" And they'd be like, "I'm offended."
You'd have to walk around like a progerian.
Well, Tom Hanks played like.
I'm not knocking
Wait, hold on.
progerians. I'm just saying.
I have nothing.
Planet Progeria.
I have nothing against progerian.
Wait, that progerian is a word we just coined, by the way.
I have nothing against progerian.
babies.
I think this episode is the most insensitive episode so far.
You know what pisses me off? Christian music.
What don't you like about Christian music?
It's not that. It's not the concept of Christian music. It's just there's something about it. Like when I'm listening to a song, doesn't matter how good it is, and then they bring up a line where it's like Jesus is with me. It's like okay, now the song's ruined. I enjoyed the vocals and I enjoyed the fucking guitaring, but now you just sung about something
It's
that's
the
been
New Age Protestant
regurgitated.
Christians who do it's like the New Age Protestant rock
Yeah.
Christians like they try to appeal to the youth.
It's
They're like
it.
Jesus is
It's
in my
it.
ear,
But it-
kissing me every day.
It's the same.
Jesus is my hero.
What pisses me off is it's the same message that you've regurgitating for like fucking 20 years. Like we've heard it before.
Yeah.
We heard it.
Like anything is funny to me. Christian comedy, Christian
Christian
music.
comedy.
Yeah, it's like its own
Christian
sect.
comedy.
Christian
Oh my
humor.
god.
It's like they're acknowledging the fact that it's not real comedy, so they have to call it Christian comedy.
They're never jokes either. It's never like self-deprecating. It's always like knock knock. Who's there? Jesus, let him in.
Zach, you were on Netflix, and you were watching a fucking like Dane Cook equivalent of a Christian comedian who was like up there.
To be the Dane Cook of Christian comedy is pretty fucking low. I
Did
gotta
someone say
say.
that?
That's what he was.
He was.
I mean, you could look at him. You could be like, "Wow, this is like Dane Cook for old people," because he was up there. He was talking. He was like on the road, and he's like, "Yeah, that's like a trucker." He's basically just saying like, get out of the way," or something like the horn. Like he started doing this thing where he was personifying the noises things make, like what dogs make, like when a dog's
Give me
barking.
food. Give me food.
Yeah, like it's like I heard that when I was in 3rd grade, and they were tossing fucking keys in my face. Tell me a new one. It wasn't funny, yet people were sitting in the audience.
Do you think
It was
falling out of their seat.
hosted by the fucking. I think it was the wife from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh
It was so weird. Like I was like, why is she in this?
Dude, she was pulling out some pretty serious like fucking stabs at like atheists and all these like for a
Those goddamn
Christian.
atheists need to have a.
Were they actually doing atheist jokes?
Yeah, they're like, what's my favorite thing about atheists? They go to hell, die, hell.
Really? Everyone's
They do that.
clapping.
That's pretty good though.
They're foaming at
You're a
their
good
mouth.
Christian comic.
Their Spit is.
Watch, you hear joke, Corey, you be the audience, I'll be the Christian, okay?
Alright, I'm a studio audience.
My favorite thing about Jesus is the way he's very cool and he come back from the dead too.
Thank you. It's pretty
Knock,
good.
knock, who's there? Jesus come by. Jesus said his car broke down. He wants us to worship him.
Jesus.
If Jesus knock on your heart, you better love him. And he ain't no trick-or-treater, I'll tell you that much.
Trick-or-treaters are the dudes.
I actually fucking laughed.
Celebrating demons.
If you see a demon, it ain't a demon, it might be an atheist. You know what I mean?
You sound like fucking blue collar TV. If you celebrate Jesus, you might be a Christian.
If you believe in Jesus, you might be a Christian. Alright, let's get
Do you remember that shit?
on the phone.
That was so bad. I remember that shtick with the whole fucking like. If you got 2 beers in one hand and they're warm and you're like, honey, throw me another one, you might be a redneck. It's like yes, but I
If
can't
you fuck
really.
your sister and your kid has 7 toes, you might be a redneck. Has my favorite one.
Wait, are you what might be a redneck? Are they Christian jokes? Because I can imagine.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
They're like wife-beating beer jokes that
Yeah.
aren't funny.
Yeah, it's like if your boat is a second.
Yeah,
if your boat is your guest room or something.
If your boat is named John Deere II, you might be a redneck.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
if your washcloths.
Listen, I was born in the Outback, so I know these kinds of things.
Outback Steakhouse, more like.
That's a good place. They got you them good foods.
Let's go to Outback Steakhouse right now, guys.
Outback Steakhouse, Bloomin' Onion.
This podcast is brought to you by the Olive Garden.
Were you guys both raised in like a Christian family?
Well, my family are kind of Christian. They're not like super religious, but they identify as Christians.
You said your dad dressed up as Jesus every year and walked around the house like saying, "Nail me, nail me, nail me." Is that true?
Yeah, well, that is true. But it was only once a year, and we kind of saw it coming.
That was always kind of
we all
weird.
left the house when that happened.
You got tired of this thing? Oh, the nail bit. Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
See, for me,
We knew it was coming.
For me, like, there was a point where I was Christian, like, part-time for, like, one side of my family.
Oh, just like 40 hours a week?
Yeah, like, I worked a steady Christian job of going to do Christian things for 40 to 20 hours a month.
Yeah.
Basically, my dad's side, he only really did church things when he wanted to fuck someone. So when my dad wanted to fuck a chick,
Your dad is like the dude from Wedding Crashers.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, oh, she's really into like God and stuff. So you better enjoy it. And I'm like, Dad, church is okay.
Your dad tried to lure you to church and be like, "You better be a good man."
You were your dad's wingman?
I would have to go with him because like I lived with him, but
Would your dad get jealous if she got into you instead?
I don't know.
Like she was like, "You got a big dick already."
What? It doesn't sound like Blue Collar TV. Starting Comedy Central's first. Okay, no, but like with my mom, she's pretty much like she believes in Jesus and God and stuff, but she believes to a point where she's like, you know, God's in all of us. I don't think you need to go to some fucking rank old building and listen to some dude.
Yeah,
talking
well, that's
about-
not, if it gives you peace and like you don't shove it in people's faces. I think
That's
fine.
exactly what my mom says. My mom's like, people that say you have to go to church or you're gonna go sin and go to hell, it's like you don't. If you just believe in God or you have God in your whole, or you, and you're a Christian, that's good enough because it's like, when the fuck did God say you had to go to go to a place and listen to some?
I respect people's belief. People can believe whatever they want to. As long as they're not shoving your face in it.
That's what I'm talking about, though.
People are still allowed to ridicule anything they want to.
Yeah,
except for Islam.
Well, that's a whole other
That's our last episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like people think like.
Have you been back to church being a non-believer? It was very creepy. I went back there I went back to church for Christmas. And you sit there, it's a big dark room. Like when you're there, it's like, yeah, whatever, it's church. But when you go back, from the perspective of I don't really believe this that much or whatever, it's very cultish, if I can say that. Because they're all saying it in monotone voices. Yeah, it's like Christ has come, Christ has risen, Christ will come.
Yeah, see,
When you hear like 1,000 people singing that in unison, it's very creepy because you're kind of looking around like you.
And they're all like dead-eyed, just looking at the altar going,
it's passage B6. You're supposed to sing along.
That's not even a real passage in the Holy Bible.
B6? Is it a fucking
B6?
manual? Is it a manual to build a chair, Corey?
I should sunk your battleship. No,
That actually sounds like B6.
I think it is the last.
Yours is better than mine was. It made no
The
sense.
last time I went to church, like the last time, and there was like some like Ellen DeGenerate set up like stage thing at the bottom, and then there was like these people who came out. They were like, you know, hip young Christian doers, and they were talking in the book, and they're like, hey, you guys want to hear a passage from Jesus? And everyone's like screaming.
Corey, weren't you tied up in something?
Corey has a story
That was a
about
while ago.
You guys tell the audience about that?
Oh, I went to Sunday school, and the people didn't feel like watching us, so they used to tie us down with those like fucking like jump rope type ropes. They would tie us down to those fucking like shitty play school chairs at the plastic
The
tables.
plastic ones that you knock.
Yeah. They used to tie us down to that and make us watch VeggieTales.
Now, you're Irish, so I don't think you've been exposed to VeggieTales, have you?
What's VeggieTales?
VeggieTales is shit.
God.
It was good. It was a good cartoon show for what it was worth at the time.
Man, VeggieTales.
I have an idea of what it is already.
It's talking Christian vegetables that teach you how good God is.
I saw a video of this Christian cartoon, And
For what it's worth, it's a good show.
I saw this video of a Christian cartoon, and they were all singing a song nonchalantly, so they're all like, "Jesus has risen," and then
Were they vegetables?
they were just these like ugly character designs, and it just went from one character to the other,
Just like every other Christian
And
thing
then
ever
they're all
made.
and they're all like la 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 la, and then one of them goes, "A blood sacrifice," and then they just keep going on again, just nonchalantly. I was like, wait a minute, go back. It's like, "A blood sacrifice." That's how they fucking ingrain that shit into kids' head.
You brought something up. Have you noticed that almost anything that's Christian and people want to make something, it's always like this horrible quality?
Yeah, they always have this horrible like designs, and they all like, yeah.
It's
There's
just
no
like really,
Disney
really
animators
bad
ever worked
quality.
on one of those shows. There was one show called fucking, it was like Bible Adventures or something, and I need to find it.
It was made with fucking Go Animate. There was this guy who made a Kickstarter for Go Animate, and he needed to buy everything, and it was like
He
$5,000
wanted
to
10,000
buy
I think it was like
anything.
$5 or $10,000.
Go Animate is like the biggest scam for kids. It's like kids are like, "Mom, get your credit card out. I got a deal of brewing."
Got
it's like
a
that-
Christian comedy pilot.
It's like that Club Penguin thing, like all those like little kid things. It's a genius like marketing idea to get like, because their kids are idiots. They're gonna buy into that shit.
I guarantee.
That's why they indoctrinate kids with that. Like,
I guarantee there was like a Christian like fucking group that took Go Animate as an opportunity to start making Christian cartoons.
Do you ever feel like amazing on Sunday morning when you're driving or walking and you see everybody like walking in or out of church and you're like, oh, I don't have to be there. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, because you're older. Your parents aren't making you go.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like I haven't gone to church in fucking.
Listen, kids, if you go to church, just sneak out the back and
Sneak out the
smoke
back.
a few cigs.
I think my parents went.
Smoke a joint right in Jesus' face.
The one thing that's kind of nice about church is like the sense of community, because I think that's why my parents actually went, because they get to see like their neighbors and stuff. I don't know.
Do I want to see your ugly neighbors under Jesus' disgusting statue? Wow.
Well, they do. I know.
Wow, this is sensitive.
Motherfuckers.
I know what you're talking about, like the conversing
you fucking
outside.
they
cis
all
white
converse, they all
man, you fucking cis.
Do you know cysts?
That was a joke.
Benign tumors.
Yeah.
Cis or benign tumors?
You're not even drunk, Corey. You've been drinking coffee.
Now you guys know just how I am when I'm sober.
He is there's no excuse. He is 100% sober right now. First you said Ellen DeGenerate, now this, Corey?
No, the Ellen DeGeneres show.
DeGeneres. DeGeneres like a slur, like it's like a negative. You fucking degenerate, get up my lawn.
I actually remember my 8-year-old sister once going, Ellen DeGeneres? And I go, no, Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, she goes, oh, that makes sense. Age 23, dude.
Dude, I know.
24.
24, 23, age is just a number. I can still be a 6-year-old.
Yeah, 2 plus 4 is 6. The two numbers.
I didn't think about that.
You know what I also thought about? I know it's a pretty redundant thought by this point, but there's going to be some point in the future where a president will have had a YouTube account as a child. Like right now, there's potentially a president calling some kid a faggot on a machinima video, and he's going to run the country in like 30 years. Isn't that fascinating? Or 40 years or whatever?
No, seriously, that is the truth.
In the future,
There's not going to be any anonymity.
If you look up
anonymity.
I can't say that.
If you
Anonymity.
look up
Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Anonymous?
Anonymity.
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 Astronomy.
Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Astronomy. Anonymity.
I really can't do it. Wait.
Anonymity.
No, wait, you're confusing me now.
Anonymous.
No, say the real one.
Anabeam.
No, say the real one.
Anabeam.
Say the real one.
Anonymous.
Hippopotamus.
Fuck, I can't do it. I sound like a jet.
Wait, now we do it up.
Anonymity.
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 Inanimate objects.
Inanimate objects. Yeah, I can say that. Inanimate objects.
Anonymity.
You can't say it either, Corey. Why am I gonna
I
slide
can't.
it?
Well, you already know I can't say stuff. Anonymity.
That's what I've been saying. No, you said anonymity.
Do it.
Anonymity.
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 People have already closed out of the podcast.
All right, goodbye.
Okay, well,
No, seriously.
so
Anonymity.
Well, so anyways, I was just saying, like, there's going to be a point in time in the future where a president
no,
is
I was gonna say something.
Right.
I was gonna say, look up Obama Gerald Jr. Look at his first YouTube video.
What is this?
Obama Gerald Jr. Look at
Gerald?
his first Gerald.
Oh, Gerald.
Look at his first YouTube
That's
video.
the second name, of course. Obama's second name. Who
Who's Obama Gerald
do you
Jr.?
think's running the country? Obama Gerald. That's his name, dude.
Obama Gerald Jr.
What about Barack?
That's his alias.
his new
Yeah, they call him that.
Okay, well, listen, you look him up. Look up Obama Gerald Jr.
I like how when you're thinking of a future president, you put the current president
Look him up.
because you can't.
He's lip sync.
There's in sync, dude.
There's a video that was.
thing.
Did you guys hear this? There's a video of Vladimir Putin that was leaked yesterday of him lip syncing City Escape. He was singing that song on YouTube. They discovered
From
it.
Sonic. Oh no, I thought it was the Sonic.